Hello everyone, today I'm interviewing Packman. So we're going to start with the first question, which is, who are you, Packman? Explain yourself.
Well, I got my name from my MUGEN archive name, Packmanmugen, and for the most part, I've been with MUGEN for about 4+ years or so. I mostly got my start playing JoJo HFTF MUGEN, and then because I wanted to change portraits, I had to look through 7 different videos on literally how to change a picture. But then as I got more into it, messing with the code with characters, I'm now recently just doing character edits.
And how did you find out about Mugen? What was your actual first experience? And
Um, Actually, I think I started with Vine Sauce when he did his own custom Mugen thing. I was like, this is kind of interesting. So I kind of dove into that, tried it out. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the JoJo characters the most, so I looked into more of those, and that's how it led into one another.
oh, I get it. And what was your experience, or what is your opinion on the JUS or JUS?
I feel like it's overshadowed by kind of a lot of other music categories, which kind of sucks because it brings a lot of variety, as while still being kind of simple with sprites and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. And the gameplay or the style of gameplay as well.
It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot easier for me in terms of gameplay.
All right, that's understandable. And recently you started to take lessons from PaintTube or Incept on coding, correct?
A few, yeah.
And when did you start to code?
When I started to code was actually around the same time I made my first video, releasing the first two characters I've ever edited, Train and Eve. They're very old characters.
And how are the paint lessons going?
So far so good. I feel like it's kind of less like a teacher-student relationship, and we're just kind of talking as equals.
That actually makes me very happy to hear, because obviously having a good connection with your teacher is very good, because you'll feel more comfortable asking him questions if you're confused in something, and you won't feel anything holding you back from asking any questions.
Yeah, and then it's just the advice he gives me on what to do better. It's better for me to take in, but with less a grain of salt, because it's somebody I look up to and somebody that helps me.
That's great to hear, actually. The fact that you're looking up to him and everything, and that guy that you were a fan of is actually now your teacher. And how would you rate PaintTube's teaching?
I mean, I honestly give it an 8 out of 10. He does his best to try to communicate with me, even though it kind of English could be not his strong suit, but he does his best, and I appreciate that. And it's good to understand him too.
Yeah, I personally think as long as you understand what he's teaching, that's the most important. And
yeah,
and I personally think his English is fine. I never had any problems with it. I mean, he isn't from America, and considering where he's from, I think his English is very good. So you say 8. I would say that's high. That means he's a very good teacher, and I'm glad to hear that. So what is your take on the dark side of Mugen? I'm talking about the leeching, the poorly made edits, etc.
Poorly made edits, that doesn't really bother me as much, seeing as I could just go in there how can I make this better? I don't want this to be stay as a poorly made edit, especially if it's one of the 50 plus Gokus out there. But in terms of kind of leeching, I personally had that experience, I think yesterday. when somebody released my Akame edit and didn't really give me or the person who sprouted that the idol like kind of credit, it just all went kind of towards incest because of the conversion.
Well, obviously you're very against all of that, but you do know what's happening behind the scenes. Yeah. Well, I'm guessing. Okay, so I'm guessing your opinion is that it needs to change, right? Or
Yep, definitely.
do you have a favorite Just creator?
I don't want to be biased. I mean, all of them are good, but then again, let me actually put this in category. In terms of like code, I would have to say more of the older one, like Miko, Black Jedi Kyber, since they're kind of the same thing. But it's like easy to go in there, change something, see the result. But in terms of like play, it would have to be Revelio or Incest. But Neptune's his own breed. That's why I kind of like just like put him aside.
I want to ask, in terms of actual fun gameplay, like characters that have really good show and feel very good to play as, who would you give that credit to?
Then that would have to go to my teacher. Kirito, I mean, like Kirito is very like presentable. Like it feels very flashy, combos well, and it's just overall a good, fun character to play.
Okay, interesting. And what type of content do you think can help Mugen in growing its popularity?
If we're trying to like stay in that kind of like open source, more like sort of like bringing more attention to it, whether it's like advertisements, but not really advertisements because they kind of like make money, but something to like bring people's focus to Mugen.
I actually agree with that, because obviously anything that has to do with bringing more attention to Mugen is probably the best thing that we can do. The more people find out about Mugen, you get the bigger support, and it motivates the creators to do more stuff.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And tell me, Pac-Man, what should we expect from you in the future?
Well, I mean, I do have another video coming out soon enough. I'm doing the edits. Yeah.
Is there a release date? Or
whenever I finish it.
Fair enough.
But something to bring it back. But for the most part, I'll probably stick to edits for now until I find the courage and the knowledge to kind of just start a new character. And then I'll just work on that. But then again, if I kind of start a new character, I'm going to be stuck in that cycle where people are just going to request more characters, and I'm going to have to like choose which new characters to create instead of like focusing on both new characters and edits.
That's understandable. Although, if you do decide to make a fully fleshed, from ground up character, I think the Mugen community will be very, very happy with you. And obviously, many people will support you. You will get your own fans, and a lot of people will support you. So know that no matter what you do, obviously, people will support you. All right. Well, thank you very much for taking part in this interview. And do you want to add anything or tell everyone anything?
I just want to leave one final message.
Yeah. What is it?
No matter what, guys, I'm going to bring that variety to JOS that it deserves, and try to bring attention to Mugen. That is my dream.
That makes me so much happy to hear. That's exactly what we need in the Mugen. Thank you very much again. And thank you everyone for listening. Have a wonderful day.